Good morning. Today is Friday, hooray! November 13th, 2020, and our ICAM looks exactly the same as yesterday. I can use area model to divide. We're going to continue working on what we tried to do yesterday, so if it was tricky for you yesterday, stick with it today. Today could be the day that you understand it a little better. All right, here's our first problem. Number 1. 736 divided by 3 equals, well, we don't know yet. I'm going to skip a couple lines. I'm going to skip less than yesterday because I know we're getting good at this. We don't have to list every single 10, 101. I have a 3-digit number, so I'm going to need 3 spaces. And my number is 736, and I'm dividing by 3. This is the 100 spot, the 10 spot, and the 1 spot. What is 100 times 3? Well, 100 times 3 is 300, but I think we can get even closer. What is 200 times 3? That's 600. Okay, that might work. What is 300 times 3? 900. That one's too big, so you can cross that off. We're going to use 200. Remember to circle the one that you decide to use. 200 times 3 gives us 600. And I'm going to subtract. 6 minus 0 is 6. 3 minus 0 is 3. 7 minus 6 is 1. I have 136 left. I'm going to move those to the tens place. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. I think that should be enough. 10 times 3 is 30. That's way too small. 20 times 3 is 60. Still too small. 30 times 3 is 90. We're getting closer. 40 times 3 is 120. That might work. Let's try the next one. 50 times 3 is 150. That's too big. All right, so we can scratch off all those. We're going to use 40. What is 40 times 3? 120. And let's subtract. 6, 1. All right, I've got 16 left. I need to move those to the ones place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's enough. Something times 3 gets me really close to 16. If you've been doing your extra math every day, I bet you know. That's right, it's 5. 5 times 3 equals 15. And I'm going to subtract. I have 1 left over, but nowhere to move it, so this 1 is my remainder. So I need to remember that 1. I'm going to need it after I'm done checking. So where is my answer? Well, let's look up at the top. 245. I'm going to stack those in the margin and add them. 200 plus 40 plus 5, and I get 245. That's what I think my answer is, 245. But we're not going to think, we're going to know for sure. So let's check. I'm going to check using lattice. 245 times 3. Remember, I just did the inverse of my problem. So it was 736 divided by 3. I got 245. Now I'm going to do 245 times 3 and see if I can get this. Corner to corner, fall out. Corner to corner, fall out. Corner to corner, fall out. What is 5 times 3? 15. What is 4 times 3? 12. And what is 2 times 3? 6. Does it go in the top box or the bottom box? That's right, the bottom box. There we go. And let's slide down our slides. So I get 5, 3, 735 doesn't match 736. Oh, but look, we had a remainder. 735 plus our one remainder gives us 736, and we got it right. Remember, you add the remainder after you check. Add remainder after you check. Very, very important. You add the remainder after you check. What do you think? A little bit easier than yesterday? Maybe? All right, stick with it. This is our last day of this, so we're going to give you one more strategy. All right, here's number 2. Number 2. Make sure you can see it. We have 631 divided by 5. Okay, I first noticed that I have a 3-digit number. So I'm going to skip a couple lines and I'm going to make my area model from margin to margin. It helps me keep my work organized. 3 columns, because we need 3 spaces. We have 631 and we're dividing by 5. Who remembers what place this is? This is the hundreds, this is the tens, and this is the ones. All right. So 100 times 5 is 500. That might work. What's 200 times 5? 1,000. That's too big. This is 500. Let's subtract. 1. All right, and let's move it up. 131. That was how many I had left, so I moved them over to the tens place. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. You know what? I am not going to need that many. I bet some of you already know which one you need, actually. We're trying to get close to 131, but not bigger than it. 10 times 5 is 50. 20 times 5 is 100. 30 times 5 is 150. That's too big. I'm going to use 20. 20 times 5 is 100. And let's subtract. We have 31 left. And now I'm in the ones place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I bet somebody already knows this fact. One of these numbers times 5 gets me close to 31. 1 times 5 is 5. 2 times 5 is 10. Those are too small. 3 times 5 is 15. 4 times 5 is 20. 5 times 5 is 25. 6 times 5 is 30. There we go. And I'm going to subtract. I have 1 left over. That is my remainder. I got to remember that 1. 1 isn't my answer, but it is my remainder, and it is important. Now, to find my answer, I have to go look up top and see what I circled. I circled 20 and 6. So I'm going to add 20 plus 6. I think the answer is 26. 26. Oh, we had a remainder with a remainder of 1. Well, we don't want to think that's the answer. We want to know. So let's do 26 times 5. 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 2 is 10. Let's slide down our slides. I've got 130. Uh-oh. What have I done? Does anybody see my mistake? It didn't work out, and I'm not anywhere close to it. I was a too fast 4th grade teacher. I have to back up a step. It wasn't 26. Look, I forgot to circle my 100 right here. So my answer that I think it is isn't 26, it's 126. It's 100 plus 20 plus 6 gives me 126. All right, got to be a careful fourth grader and fourth grade teacher. 126 times 5. 3 digits, 3 boxes. Corner to corner, fall out. 6 times 5 is 30. 2 times 5 is 10. 1 times 5 is 5. And it goes in the bottom box because it's a 1-digit number. I get 0, 3, 630. It's close, but not right. Oh, but we had a remainder. 630 plus 1 gives me 631, and it matches exactly right. All right, so we need to write this down. When you have a remainder, check first. Very important. Check it first and then add your remainder. If you add it too soon, you'll definitely get the wrong answer, okay? So when you have a remainder, check your answer first, and then you can go back and add your remainder to make sure you're right. All right, take your time, do good practice today. Have a good weekend. We'll see you on Monday.